Oh my gosh, these are so small. What have I done? There are so many dangers in the art world. Pointy objects, bodies of water, chemical substances, distractions. But there is one danger that stands out above them all. And that is biting off more than you can chew. Excuse me, biting off more than you can chew. For a new customer in South Korea, I'm going to be painting a pair of slip-on Vans sneakers for a little girl named Rose for her birthday. Turning 4 if I'm not mistaken. That should have been my first red flag when it came to this project. But alas, creativity has a mind of its own, and I was asked to design 2 of her favorite characters. And might I add, 2 of the most complimentary characters you could imagine. Ariel the Little Mermaid.
Ariel.
And Spider-Man? Well, they actually are quite complimentary. I mean, if you think about it, she had no legs, and then she had 2 legs.
Got legs, you idiot!
I mean, he had 2 legs, and then he had 8 legs. That's not true, he didn't have 8 legs. Give me that. Who wrote this? Anyway, I needed to create a design where our mermaid princess and our flying spider guy can coexist without me putting him in the water or her in the air. So, how is this biting off more than I can chew? Well, let's just say that there was a little problem. Well, first, we've got this checkered pattern which has me in a little bit of a checkmate that we're going to have to get rid of. And second of all, well, I'm not quite sure how to say this. These are so small. Oh, what have I done? There really is no fancy way to say it. These things are tiny. I've done detail like this before, but I may have forgotten that it was going to be done on such a small scale. And if you know anything about customizing sneakers, if you try to do minute detail when you don't have the skill for it, well, it looks pretty bad. But we can't have that. We must succeed. We have to succeed for Rose. Except now we're at a crossroads. Artist, I'm here to offer you a choice. Pick the blue pill and you will be master of any one discipline of your choice, but be terrible at everything else. Or pick the red pill and you'll be average, but be able to do everything. Now, make your... What? I see you've made your choice. What? What have you done? Well, first things first, gotta get rid of these checkers. Unfortunately, that's nothing a little grey-white base can't fix. So, after flipping a coin, I decided that I'm gonna start with the background and then head on to the characters. Of course, that means my secret stencil technique. And when I say secret, I mean the secret that myself and 500 other people know about. And there we go, using my secret technique, we have our Ariel and Spidey masks. But now, if you'll excuse me, I can't airbrush and talk, or horrible things will happen. Alright, now, we have Spider-Man on his rock and Ariel swinging from the buildings, right? Oh my gosh, the script! Let's start with Ariel. On this one, I'm going to start from the bottom. I'm going to start with that probably really slimy, seaweedy, shadowy rock, and then move onwards up towards the character. We'll add her tail thing, we'll add her skin colors, we'll add her shells, we'll start to work on the face. My goodness, sometimes my art goes through a really ugly phase, but let's trust the process, and then finally top it off with the hair. This is what's going to make it make or break, these really fine, detailed little lines. This might actually be my biggest weakness, so let's do this. I thought that this was something I was going to have to do all at once at the end, but actually I found it much more helpful to keep using variations of the same colored paint in order to make these outlines nice and natural so they're not just solid black lines. Oh my goodness. Now, finally, it's time for Master Arachnids. Spidey has got even more detail than Ariel. But I need to be careful not to make him look too sharp or he's gonna look a little bit funny. I'm going to start with getting the shadows right on the face and on the body, the blue and the red. Then I'm going to go in with a couple of shadows, a couple of highlights, naturally the cool details of his webby outfit, and then the tiny little white lines for these like reflective little pieces of this specific Spider-Man suit. Like this is really small, like my camera's zoom is really good, so you guys are seeing it nice and big, but man, I can't tell you how tiny these little lines are and how hard it is to make them consistent. Now, before I decide whether this was a victory or a complete utter desolation of fire, this birthday present needs a personal touch. And I think that's pretty cool. So, what do you think? Now, if that little cutie is happy, then I'm happy. Now, if you enjoyed this video, you might want to check out the next one about how everything I showed you in this video was probably completely illegal.